so much. Such a warm welcome. I haven't even done anything, so thank you. If my notes are correct, you are all here for the Voyager Q&A. All right, that worked on. Check. A couple friendly reminders before we get started. One, rate all of your attended panels and events in the app. I promise you, I give you my word, the powers that be do read them. They read all of them, they send them to us. So please rate your panels and put in notes. If you are able, donate to this year's charity. It is NAMI, which helps with mental health. Even if you can only give $1, DragonCon will match that $1 and it becomes $2. So there is no donation too small, whatever you can give. Before we get started, I have a couple of thank yous. First off, please give a round of applause for your hotel staff and service industry. We are also fortunate in this panel that has people signing to make this more accessible. Please give them a round of applause. And of course, all of our volunteers backstage in the tech booth that make this happen. Big, big round of applause for them. So without further ado, as much as I would love to keep chatting, let's bring out our Voyager panelists. First up, we have Robert Duncan McNeil. Robert, we have more guests. We have to bring out more people. I want that same energy as we bring out Tim Russ. Look, we have set a bar, so we have to keep it going for Robert Picardo. And last but certainly not least, the director of the Trek, Mr. Garrett Wong.
I want to do what Robbie did.
All right, y'all. This will be a Q&A. We have mic runners. Mic runners, where are you at? Wave to me. We have one on my right. Do we have one on my left? We do not. So we will line up over here on my right. I see a baseball jersey, baseball cap number 15. The mic runner, so take your time, line up back there. Before we get started, how's everyone's DragonCon been so far?
Mine's been great. This is awesome. You guys are awesome. This is the best con in the world. Seriously, you guys they're one of a kind here. This place is one of a kind. So much fun.
And really cold.
Are you guys cold?
Freezing.
Yeah.
I told them, oh, it's comfortable for them, it's cold for us, but everybody's cold, if we're being honest.
We used to, making the show, it was hot on the set. Those lights that they used back in the olden times, from, gas and all kinds of mechanics, arc lights, they were hot. It was a hot set.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about me. I'm just,
Why did that get such a groan?
I know.
Hey,
you know what? I take back all of that stuff.
We gave Robbie 2 smart waters. They haven't kicked in yet.
All right, so before this gets out of hand, let's start with our questions. Over here on my right, hey, what's your name and what is your question?
Hello, my name is Eternal Zan, and my question is for Tim Russ. I believe most of us here in the audience are fans of Star Trek and Spaceballs. Yeah. So my question is, for your role in Spaceballs 2, can you tell us what you may or may not have found?
Well, that would be shit. There's no confirmation on my role being revived in that sequel just yet. They're still writing the script and developing it, so we don't have a guarantee of what and how and when and where that's going to take place. At some point in time, I guess if you were a gambling person, it might be a very good bet that they'll bring my character back.
You know, the funniest thing, we did a Voyager group photo earlier, and I got a chance to watch Tim do his solo photo ops, and the first guy comes through, and he gets next to Tim, and he quickly, slyly pulls out a pic, and he just puts it right there, and Tim grabs it, and they took the picture. And no other words were exchanged, and he just left. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
But do we think you'll find something this time? That's what I want to know.
We just don't know. I can say that, I've been working as an actor for 38 years and 7 years on Voyager and other shows, but there's only one thing anybody remembers, and it's that. One day's worth of work, 4 words, and so I give, what is that phrase? That's showbiz? That's where that comes into play.
You should say it like Tuvok. We have not found shit, is what you should say.
Zan, thank you so much for your question. Up next.
This question is also for Tim Russ, my esteemed alumni from St. Edward's University. What was your initial feeling and reaction when you were asked to reprise your first Starfleet career role as Ensign Tuvok for upcoming Star Trek Con?
When they reached out to me, I thought it was very interesting in terms of the fact that that storyline involves an archaeologist who is studying and uncovering evidence about the origin of the character Khan. So when they asked me about doing it, I said, yeah, the VO, because it's going to be a fully produced podcast piece. It's going to have sound effects and music and all that other stuff going on. So it's going to be really cool when it's done. They're doing a wonderful job on it, so I would be looking out for it. I think September is when they're planning on releasing it. So we'll see. I hope it's going to be really good. I hope it goes over very well. I was very happy to do it. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Great question. Yo, we also have questions in Discord, the online app, so you will see me pull one from there on occasion. This one is from Aaron Lander. Are you in the room? Hey, there he is. Hey. All right, Aaron. This question is for everybody. Was it intimidating working with a luminary like Robert Picardo?
I don't want to sit through these answers. I just have a feeling this is going to go straight, greased chute into hell.
Well, the term luminary.
Yeah, that was what I was wondering. Luminary?
I mean, luminary comes from the root word lumen, for light, for flame. I think of Bob as a shiny, I would call him a bounce card in the film business. We would bounce light off of Bob's head to illuminate the other actors. So yes, I think the term luminary is appropriate for that.
I like it.
That's my thoughts.
Garrett?
Yes, I was honored to work with Bob Picardo. When I met him, I said, I've seen him in so many different projects, and I'm so lucky to be with Bob.
And now you do a wonderful impression of me as well.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, they paid me extra to work with them.
Tim, I was just about to do my impersonation of Bob.
Yeah, that would be you, Garrett.
All right, here we go.
Just remember, Cass, anybody can stargaze on the bridge, but the real action happens in sick bay.
What do you always say, Bob? You always say, like, you impersonate me, but you give a little validation or not validation for it. I told you, Garrett, I've been studying your work in order to prepare for Starfleet Academy. I kept thinking, was my voice really that high? Did I really sound like I was, snorting helium before each take? And apparently I was.
All right, thank you so much for your question. We'll go back to the line over here.
My question is for everyone. What is something that you related to most with your characters?
My character's brilliance.
Oh, God.
His penchant for being a luminary.
I related to the doctor's brilliance.
Most of my friends told me that I didn't have to work to play that role because I was a lot like that character to begin with.
You
So
think?
logic definitely, and efficiency and practicality, that is something that I absolutely, is part of me. I can say that honestly. I wish that I had Tuvok's patience on the 405 freeway. However, or customer service with AT&T.
But Tim, Tuvok had extraordinary dignity, and I've never seen that quality in years.
I didn't say that I had all of the qualities.
I'm going to go with what Robbie said. I related to Bob's luminescence, is what I'm going to say. Bob, can you please read your text message to Robbie from earlier? It's so funny. Robbie didn't show up to the group photo on time, so Bob sends this text. It's the best.
Okay, we are going to throw you out of the group picture. And keep your money because you didn't show up. We have been waiting here forever.
8 minutes.
We have an AI Tom Paris. And it looks a lot better than you look anyway.
Damn.
I didn't mean any of that. I was feeling the way Tim does on the 405 freeway. I was feeling frustrated because 8 minutes of my life had been pissed away waiting for him. You can understand.
What's that? Yes. I want to go back to your question, though, about relating to the character. I did love that they brought in the father-son relationship with Tom and his father, and I related a lot to that without going into therapy with all of you right now. But I did relate to that, and I appreciated that, and that was a good part of it for me. That's all. End of my TED Talk.
Well, thank you for keeping it positive and not speaking ill of your...
Yeah, no, it was good. I mean, I think the way that Tom repaired the relationship with his father was something that happened in my real life, and I could relate to that in a positive way, but that it's, relationships aren't easy. And I think all these Star Trek characters, one thing I love about Star Trek is the writers' commitment to making complicated characters and interesting characters. And I appreciated that with Tom and how he evolved over the 7 years. Definitely was not the same person at the end of season 7 that he started as in season 1. So I really appreciated that.
Awesome. Thank you so much for the question. Next question from the line.
Hey, my name is Ricky Bobby.
If you're not the winner, wait, what is the quote? If you don't come,
Hey man, if you're not first, you're last.
you're not first, you're last. That's right. Okay, I screwed it up.
Garrett, we're looking forward to you hosting the Miss Universe pageant again. You always do such an awesome job. My question is for Robert Picardo.
What does he do? Who is he?
Our EMH.
I haven't heard of him.
Oh,
Don't know the.
did you watch the show?
Did you ask me what do I do for a living?
No. Can you speak about the time you got to work with Gates McFadden in your cameo on Star Trek First Contact and what that was like?
Well, it was brief. I think I worked half a day. I don't think I'd ever met Gates before that day. We met on the set. Frakes, of course, had directed a number of Voyagers at that point. In fact, John, when Frakes got offered the movie, Jonathan, he left me and called me in my trailer and said, "Thanks, you helped me get my first feature directing job," because they showed them the episode projections to get studio approval. And I also basically had talked my way into the movie. You know that thing where you put something and you whisper something to someone and then it goes down the line? I was in the movie because I was talking to Rick Berman about possibly directing our show in the future, and as I left the room, I said, you're going to have a brand new Enterprise in the next feature because you destroyed it at the end of Star Trek Generations, right? And he said, yes. I said, I don't understand something. How come Voyager has more advanced technology than your flagship? He said, what do you mean? I said, well, how come we have this emergency medical hologram thing and you don't have it on Voyager? And he smiled. And I said, look, I'm not trying to pad my part. I'm looking out for your logic. And he said, that's an interesting idea. Then 2 weeks later, I ran into Ron Moore and I said, oh, you're writing the new Star Trek movie. You know, I don't understand something. Walked him down the same path. 2 weeks later, Brandon Broggie, oh, Brandon, you're writing the new Star Trek movie. You know, I don't understand something. And every time I would say this, after they smiled and laughed, they all said, that's a very interesting idea. So when Frakes called me in my room and said, thank you for helping me get the movie, I said, I'm sure I had nothing to do with it. But you know, I don't understand something. And I did the whole thing with him. He said, that's a very interesting idea. 2 weeks later, I got a call from Rick Berman and said, we're putting the EMH in the new Star Trek feature. And I said, that's a very interesting idea.
Great question. Thank you so much. Robert, while we have you, we have a question from Discord from Bookworm that I do not see this title often. It caught my attention. They said they saw you in an episode of Scarecrow and Mrs. King.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
there's a few of us of a certain age.
Yes, I am in that. I would not call it a subtle performance. I'm kind of painting with a 4-inch roller, as they say. It was a time when Live Aid and all of the big concerts with rock stars that were benefiting, you know, that were international events and raising money for good causes. I guess the first one was George Harrison's A Concert for Bangladesh. In any case, they had just done one of the big concerts and they were lampooning a rock. I was playing a rock star with a long wig.
What?
Who was, I know. And I'm dressed like Robin Williams on Mork and Mindy. I have like a t-shirt and suspenders and this long hair. I look like a cross between Eddie Van Halen and Mary Tyler Moore. And I was an idiot. You know, I'm drinking a Mai Tai talking about how I really want to do something to help the people, but I had, you know, an IQ of like 12. Anyway, yes, it was not a great outing, but thank you for bringing it up.
And to confirm, they ultimately wanted to know if it was a wig. It sounds like you said
it was definitely a wig, yeah. It was not even, I don't think a human hair was added to it. I think it was made out of cotton candy that had been dyed.
Well, thank you for your question in Discord. We'll go back to the line.
Hello. So, Voyager is obviously a job. There's downtime, there's a lot of hurry up and wait, there's a lot of mundane tasks that you have to go through when you're prepping. I'm curious, do you have any fun stories about how you pass the time or this kind of just fun interactions behind the scenes just as part of your day to get through the day?
Well, on the bridge, it was always so monotonous and boring, and that's when I invented the comm badge toss, because our comm badges where there was Velcro on one side and they had Velcro on the other attached to the Starfleet uniform. So I looked at Robbie and I walked up to him and I go, "Hey man," I pulled his comm badge off. He's like, "Hey," and I go, "Hey, wait, hold on." And I walked a couple steps back and I threw it and it landed back on. And I was like, "Hey." So then Robbie goes, "I'm gonna try that." So he pulls mine off. He steps a couple more feet back. We just started going further and further. And at one point, Kate saw it. She's like, "I want to try." I'm like, "Okay." And then she steps back. It's like, she throws it. It lands on. She goes, "That's why I'm the captain." So she. A lot of fun.
I think the lesson is we really tried, deep self-improvement and quality time, between shots.
It was a wonder that we ever got anything filmed at all. I used to throw tape balls at Garrett because we were on opposite sides of the bridge. So we get wads of tape from the gaffers and things, and I would just ball them up and toss them back and forth. We tried to bean each other all the time. That was the routine as well.
Yeah.
We were focused on what we were doing, of course.
We were.
Dialogue and all that kind of thing.
Tim Robbie was part of the triangle of tape ball death as well.
Might have been part of it, yes.
Yeah. But do you remember the day that I tried to hit you and I threw a curveball and beamed Kate Mulgrew in the side of her head?
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. I immediately hid at my console. I go, "Ah!" And I kept thinking, I'm going to get fired for this. And I popped back up about 30 seconds later, and Kate was waiting for me. She's like, so.
You gotta watch Kate, man. I beamed her one time with some cork. There was cork on the floor. It was part of the ship. It exploded, and some debris was laying around. There was cork laying on the floor, and I beamed her with it just before a take. And she threatened me. She said, "You better not do that." So of course I had to. And when we left the set that night, I found that she took all my clothes, my street clothes, out of my trailer.
Oh
So I had to go look for them. And they were apparently the wardrobe person, Matt, found them in her trailer. So I took them out, and then I decided to have Matt take some Polaroid pictures of my bare ass. And then I posted about 4 or 5 of them in her trailer. So when she came in the next morning, that's what she saw in her trailer. That's right.
I bought 4 of them online. And I have them for Tim to sign this weekend.
Great. Thank you so much for your question.
But none of you thought you'd be talking about Tuvok's bare butt, did you? No.
Well, I have to say, this was not intended. This is the perfect segue, Tim, so thank you.
Thank you, Tim.
For a question that has been in Discord numerous times, I see here from Wraith 5, but others have asked it. This is for Bob. How's your butt?
How's your butt, Bob?
I'm unable to comment. My butt is presently in litigation against Delta Flyers for, I guess you would call it wrongful injury suit. They called me while I was on my bike and I was being interviewed riding in the rain, and I fell down and hurt my butt, all of which was broadcast. So after 5 years of humiliating questions about the status of my butt has decided to sue, and I'm afraid that I'm not at liberty to comment.
Did your butt sign an NDA?
I also want to add, the signers interpreting for us go through years and years of training. It's very hard work just to say, how's your butt in sign language. So thank you for that.
How do you say butt? Butt.
Butt?
I know fart. Fart's like this. Fart. Fart. Yeah. Fart. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Years of training.
Let us continue.
Next question in line, please.
Hello, my name's Evan. I just want to say it's really extraordinary to be here and see you guys actively watching Voyager for the first time, so it's very special. My question is for Mr. Russ. I wonder, I'm sure that as an actor you take away aspects of characters that you play over the years into your life, into your future, and if there's anything about playing Tuvok, an alien with a different culture, different values that you've carried into your personal life or into your future roles that you could share with me?
Like I said before, I think that as I've gotten older, I've gotten a lot more cranky and impatient. And so I think that I could probably use a little bit of that Tuvok sort of thing, right about now. Like I said, as I've gotten older. So because time becomes an issue for me, not wanting to waste any of it. Much more focused on that kind of thing right now. So that's generally what's happened over the years. And many of you, if you haven't gotten there already, will probably discover the same thing. Just so you know. But yeah, I think his calm and his logic and control and just keeping it together, I think is something that I could, that would be beneficial for myself and maybe others. I think it's something that I could use down the line. Absolutely.
Thank you. Great question. Mm-hmm. Next in line.
Okay, he's super shy, but my son Henry wants to let you know that he's watched almost every episode. You're his comfort show.
Thanks, Henry. Thank you.
He wants to know how they made it so that you had holes in yourself and had to go to sick bay.
Are we made what? Sorry.
Can you repeat that?
Holes.
How did you get holes in yourself? Holes?
Who had
Like
holes?
injuries.
Injuries.
Hold
Got
on.
it. Oh. How did they make it, like the makeup department?
Yeah.
Oh.
So how do they do the special effect, the makeup, to make it look like you have holes in your body?
If it was sometimes it might be a visual effect, so that would be computers and things like that they might use computers to create that kind of thing. But most of the time we tried to do practical effects, which was makeup effects, and that was Mike Westmore's department, and they were amazing. Mike Westmore's amazing. He's an incredible genius with prosthetic makeup, and his whole team was also incredibly talented. And they would come up with these things. Sometimes they'd use books, photography books, and look at different ideas for aliens or injuries or whatever they were having to create. And they'd create it like art. They'd sculpt it, and then they'd take a mold of that. They'd put some silicone or latex into the mold and then paint it and put it on with glue, and it would look very real. They were really, really good.
Also, the wardrobe department would work in conjunction with the makeup department, because wardrobe would have, all of us would have multiple Starfleet uniforms, but there would be certain uniforms that were in a certain state of disarray. Like one would have like a phaser, like we'd be hit by a phaser, another would be torn in a certain place. So there were uniforms that were already kind of messed up to sort of make it look more realistic that were being shot at or whatever.
I remember in an early episode, the doctor sticks his arm through the door at sickbay and it disappears, which I thought was pretty cool. My recollection is they just put a blue screen sock over my arm. It was the episode where the doctor, or Barclay, tries to convince the doctor that all of Voyager is a hologram and he's the only real thing. So then to prove at the end of the experience that I really was a hologram, I stick my arm out of the holographic environment of sickbay, and my arm disappears, and then I nod in a very pleased way when I pull it back. And of course, that is an example of, early a visual effect that is seemed pretty advanced 30 years ago. Now, not as much.
And what's your son's name?
Henry.
Henry, thank you for the question.
Great question, Henry.
We'll go next in line.
Hi there. My name is Hunter. It's such a pleasure to see and hear from you all. My question is for anyone who wishes to answer it, although Garrett gets now because he kindly answered it for me yesterday. By the time Voyager started, Trek fandom and conventions were well established. So when you all took your roles, did you have a sense that conventions would be part of your lives going forward?
I didn't really, I wasn't that aware of the convention side of Star Trek. I mean, I was peripherally aware a little bit, but I had no clue what it would be like. And I think the first convention I did was the year we had premiered. It was in Florida somewhere. And I remember walking out to a room about this size with nearly this many people, and everyone just cheering and screaming. And the show had just started airing, and I couldn't believe it. It just seemed surreal to me that this many people were that enthusiastic. But now I can see it's about the franchise. It wasn't just about our show. It was about the franchise is continuing. There's going to be more stories. There's going to be these new exciting characters. It was a cheer for the franchise. I can see now in a big way. And yeah, the conventions have been amazing.
Yeah, Robbie, that's pretty much the same experience I had because, I had been working on a lot of shows up into Voyager and never experienced anything like that before. I mean, intellectually or cognitively, I knew that there was these gatherings and these conventions that were going on, but I had never been to one. And the first time I walked out, the room was about this size and there were about this many people. And the screaming and cheering that went on when it came on, I was blown away. You can think about it like intellectually, but when you feel that, when you come on for something that you're doing as an actor for this one project, when you've done so many other projects before then, and nobody just, nobody says anything or cares one way or the other, but you walk out for that and all of a sudden, wow, man, it is overwhelming, stunning, it really was. Amazing at the time.
I was one of the last actors cast in the show, and the day that I had my test for the role of the Doctor, later that afternoon, my agent called up and said, "You got the part, and you got your first 2 convention offers." So there was apparently whoever got the part, it was attached to that. And I think we all remember that in our pilot, Armin Shimmerman, wonderful man and a great actor who was in our pilot as a guest star, and he really kind of prepped all of us for what would be coming our way and how our lives would change. You remember that? It was very helpful. So now, being the old guy in Starfleet Academy, I have taken on the mentorship role in telling a lot of the younger actors, all the wonderful things that are in store for them. And I've literally been doing that now, letting them know what it's like. And it's a nice kind of circle of life experience for me to be able to pass. What are you laughing at? What are you saying?
What? No.
What are you whispering about?
Nothing. It's all about you, how much we love you, Bob.
All right.
Bob.
Anyway.
Before I went to sleep last night, I was thinking about you, Bob.
That is the scariest thing I've ever heard. Now I won't be able to sleep tonight.
Oh, it's not scary. It's wonderful. I just imagine Tim Russ. He's just getting ready for bed. He grabs the other pillow next to his Bob. Good night.
A fan gave me a little pillow that is the Doctor. I love it. I have it on it's a little tiny, I don't know how they made it, but it's, but I don't want another one though.
You're gonna get 500 now. Since I already answered your question, I'm just gonna make one observation. It's really cool how the way we sat down is no hat, hat, no hat, hat, no hat. Okay, that's all.
I have one more thing to say about conventions. I just remembered this. I think my expectation of doing conventions was it was going to be like a college seminar. I literally thought, I think I expected, oh, okay, I'll go to a convention and I'll sit there and it'll be like a lecture and they'll ask questions. Like, I didn't expect the cheering and the fun and the celebration and the kind of personal connection that I realize it has now. But yeah, I literally thought, do I have to give a lecture? Should I make notes? Like, what do I do? I don't know what.
Half of those questions about your behind, and you know.
Yes, exactly. I just talk. Now I know I just talk about Bob's butt, and we're good.
And there will be a test. I often, my friends who are not part of the Star Trek fan experience sometimes say, "How was your conference?" And I say, "My what? Your conference in Vegas." So I go, "Well, it was fine." I wouldn't call it a but it was great. It was great.
You know, I do have to add, it's because the fans love the show so much. The shows that have come before it, the shows that are on now. I mean,
Although I would pay good money to watch Robbie give a lecture about, here's my Venn diagram of Tom Paris and Nick Locarno, the intersection of the...
All right, thank you. We'll go next in line.
Hi there, my name is Martha May. I have a
Martha
question
May.
for the whole crew. Hi. So, for context, my husband says you don't understand the ethos of Starfleet. But my question is, in season 2, there's the episode Death Wish with a Q that wants to die. And Janeway trades the fate of 100+ crew members for the life of this Q that she doesn't know. And I thought, that's literally insane. Why wouldn't she want to go home for this guy she doesn't know? And just as people, how would you make that decision? Would you go home or say, no, we have to have the moral high ground?
Oh, shit.
I would say no, we don't go home because we need season 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
I think you guys have to sort out their dispute.
I know. I would say personally, the needs of the many outweigh the few. I would go with that logic and kind of say, if this is going to benefit the entire crew, that is more important, I guess. That's what I would say.
Trek always, one of the things we did on the show is we had to answer a lot of difficult questions and make very difficult decisions. And Katie's character, not only in that particular episode, we know which other one.
You mean Threshold, where she had 3 children with me? That episode? That decision to leave our children? I just, for the record, Tom wanted to bring the kids home. It was Janeway who said leave them there. So.
Oh, that's new.
Not exactly that episode.
Oh, okay.
But yes, the difficult decisions to make. There was she took the moral high ground, and that's what you had to do. And that's really good writing, from the people that put the stories together.
Originally, Janeway was going to keep Tuvix and get rid of Tuvok and Neelix. And then Tim cried so hard that she changed her mind. Remember that?
I think it was more my appealing to the writers and producers that, I want to keep working on the show. So, you got to bring us back.
No, I mean, that was a great one where Janeway's, where they also questioned, Janeway's euthanasia of Tuvix. But what are you going to do? I mean, and the network wanted Tuvix too because they saved, a salary for an actor.
Yeah. But production cost,
Thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
Speaking of difficult decisions, Brandy in the Discord wants to know, what have you stolen from set?
Play.
What?
Assuming you have stolen anything from the set, which, if you did,
I think I took my director's chair, my name on it, and I got one piece of my console at the tactical station. Just a small piece like this. That's it. Because boy, when they started taking that thing down, they didn't waste any time.
And they had security guards. Do you remember?
Yeah.
They brought in additional security to make sure people
didn't walk off with
that.
Stuff.
So the last day of filming was on the bridge. Okay, so it was all the bridge crew.
Kate
had a little bit after.
I was almost near one of the last days. I had with her in the briefing room, and they had already taken down the whole other stage. Was
right.
Yeah.
Wow. But well, the last day we filmed on the bridge, which is one of the final days, I remember they said, "Okay, you wrapped," and I went over to start looking for things to take. And as I went into this area, it's like, "What happened to this?" They go, "Bob Picardo." I go, "Well, what about that?" They go, "Bob Picardo took that too." So Bob was already done with work, and he was just grabbing everything that was nailed down. And,
Bob, did you bring your own tools? They provide tools.
I used to deliver the Christmas present from the cast to the construction department every year, and they loved me. But so I got lots of panels, and they got auctioned for the Pediatric AIDS Foundation.
No, Bob auctioned them off.
Playhouse.
Yes.
And for the play and the Planetary Society, of course. But what I kept for myself was my desk chair, which I asked if I could have. It was really just the chair from Staples they put funny feet on. I asked wardrobe if I could have one pair of my boots, and I took my the only thing I stole without permission was my comm badge the last day.
Yeah.
And of course I lost that.
I may have stolen more than any of you then. I didn't think I stole that much, but now that I'm hearing your admissions, I think...
You took home a couple of extras, right? I mean, that was out of line.
Wow.
You need me to go to the next question?
I think I got 8 to 10 pairs of my ears also, and I did auction those off for charity.
Okay, so in Bob's defense, he did auction all those pieces off for charity. He had enough of the USS Voyager to auction off for the next 17 years after the end of the show. So what I did find that what was left was basically my console, and I thought, oh, this would be great. Then I measured it. I was like, there's nowhere in my house I could fit this entire operations console. And then I thought, maybe my backyard as a bar for July 4th. But then I tried to just budget, nothing. So what I ended up taking was the entire readout behind me, the office display readout. That's the only thing Bob didn't get to. So I was like, I'll take that. So that was it. But that's a really nice prize, so I'm pretty happy to have that. But Robbie got away with a lot of good stuff. And 2 uniforms, which I'm shocked I don't have a single one. I get fans walking up, fans will walk up to me and say, I'll be in England, it's like, hello, my name is Nigel. I was at the Christie's auction, I have one of the Harry Kim uniforms. And I'm like, oh, good. I'll be in Germany. Hello, I'm Manfred, and I have a Harry Kim uniform. And if you ever want to wear it again, please call me. And I'm like, no, really, I have a Harry Kim in my basement. I have him. He's here. For real.
I've had the same experience with people who have, who bought the uniforms at auction for anywhere for as little as $1,500 to later on up to, I think, $6,000-$7,000 now.
I know one of our listeners of the Delta Flyers, Jeremiah is his name. He has the entire couch from Janeway's Ready Room.
Yeah, the whole couch.
He's got the whole, right? Yeah. All of us are jealous. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think I got a chance to auction a couple of Tupac thongs.
I have
for a lot of money.
I have one of those.
You have one of those because you're the one that bought it because there's a lot of money.
I'm wearing it right now.
Quite a through line in today's path.
I did get a run of engineering. I forgot. Remember the railing? I was going to make a bar in my basement at home that I never did, and it just sat for years. Just the double strips of metal with a couple thinking that if you put that against the wall and put a nice sheet of glass over it would make a really cool bar. It never happened.
You still have it?
All right, we have one more from Discord from Serendipity Lawless wants to know, this is for you, who has custody of the salamanders?
Aha. The children that Janeway did not want to bring back home. Who has custody? Bob has custody.
Uncle Bob?
Appointed, yes.
Yeah.
I have
I do. I have.
element.
They've all. I found good homes for all of them. I paid for their education.
Thank you, Bob.
They felt quite abandoned by now that you brought it up. No. And they've gone on. Some of them are now appearing at various zoos and all over the world. And frankly, they feel a little bad about it. Well, never mind. I don't want to make you feel bad. More Kate than you. Let's put it that way.
Thank you. I have a stuffed salamander on my couch in my office. I do have a one baby salamander.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. We'll go another question in line.
Hi, my name is Walt. I watched the whole series when it came out, and I binge watched it again a few years ago. My question for Robert Picardo: how hard was it to create a second version of yourself when you actually brought the Zimmerman character into the series?
I just thought that he should be an even bigger asshole than the Doctor.
Wow.
Boy, you really challenged yourself, because that's a lot.
The Doctor was kind of an asshole early on, and I thought, well, wouldn't it be cool if his mentor was... But the other thing is he had bad posture. I mean, it's pretty hard to mess up my hair, let's face it.
You're what?
But I tried to make him look disheveled. It's kind of hard to dishevel me, but I did. I had terrible posture as the other guy, and I was even nastier. So that was my goal, and I think I succeeded quite well.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
All right, thank you for the question. We'll go again in line.
Hey guys, Simon. Been a fan since the first episode, Caretaker, and watched it like religiously all the way through the end game. I do have a question about Endgame. Y'all ended it perfectly, but I was always wondering, was there anything y'all ever thought about adding that should have been added or probably explained towards the end of the series?
So anything you'd want to add to the end?
Saving the salamander, going back for the salamander children would have been nice. The final ending scene, sort of like a Marvel credit scene where you see the salamanders being saved. And a promotion, thank you. But according to Starfleet Academy, Harry Kim skipped every rank. He went ensign to admiral, so it's like, okay.
I thought it was kind of cheap that Chakotay stole 7 of 9 at the last minute. No! The Doctor had mentored her, nurtured her, encouraged her, ogled her. And then he just swooped in at the end, and then the producers in the final episode just gave me another tall, leggy blonde, thinking it would be the same thing, and I found that rather offensive.
I did think honestly, having Chakotay and Seven get together in the last, I don't know, handful of episodes seemed unmotivated to me. I did not understand that. I know they had a plot point in the finale, two-parter that they were trying to support, but it just didn't. I mean, I'm a JC shipper. Come on.
I'm a Harry 7 shipper. Come on. You talk about you get that little ticket at the deli line. I had ticket number 1. The Doctor had ticket 2. Remember that?
Great question. Thank you so much. We will go next in line.
Hi there, my name is Dominic, and I love your show. I've watched it a lot. You're my favorite cast.
Oh, thank you.
I've seen it 10 times through without breaking a sweat. My question is for Robert Duncan. It's about character departure, his evolution, Tom Paris's evolution, and specifically season 5, episode 6, called 30 Days, where you were in jail.
Yeah.
I found that to be slightly abrupt, where you went from this devil-may-care character to somebody who made a decision that was very altruistic. Did you agree with that writing choice? And if you did, or you didn't, was there a moment in your character you really felt he evolved?
I don't know, I can't pinpoint a moment. I think the relationship with B'Elanna Torres definitely was the most important thing that allowed him to grow and kind of become self-aware and become the true self that he was, the true character he was. I think a lot of the stuff early on for that character was trying to hide behind his armor and his attitude and other things. I didn't think that was super abrupt, actually. But one thing that comes to mind about 30 Days, I remember when we shot that episode, it came in short. It came in under time. Pretty, I think 4, 5, 6 minutes. It was very short. And so they added a lot of scenes in the brig with voiceover and the letters home and things like that, just to try to make it long enough. The episode wasn't long enough. But I thought that was a great way to fix the timing problem, because it also allowed the character to sort of voice some of his inner feelings, and it kind of forced the writers to evolve the character a bit more. And that's what I remember from 30 Days.
Awesome. Thank you. Great question. Next in line.
Hi there. My question is for everybody. Who's the funniest person you've been mistaken for? Like if a fan on the street comes up to you and is like, oh my gosh, I love you in whatever, but it wasn't you. So who's the person you've been mistaken for?
Bob Picardo. It's hilarious when that happens. I don't get it, but
I was mistaken for Tim Russ, and I didn't understand why they thought I was him.
my favorite is actually when people come up and they go, you look so familiar. And I'm like, uh-huh. And then it just ends there. You look familiar.
Mine is, did you go to the University of Texas? I think I remember. Did you go to that school?
A lot of that too. Apparently, there's a show called Hello Freshman, and I look like the principal on Hello Freshman. Is that true? Because I get that a lot. Some people think I look like David Cross before he grew a beard and looks like a fugitive from ZZ Top now. And also, I looked a little like, old bald men look alike, let's face it. I can't tell us apart.
Oh my God. Let's see. In the very beginning of Independence Day, the movie, there's a tech guy that sees the signal that the alien force, the invading force is showing up. He's playing golf or whatever in the little lab, and he calls his boss. He's like, oh my God, check this out. That guy is my doppelganger. So much so that when I was watching the movie in the theater, I was like, when did I film this? I met this actor years later. He's actually 6'3". He's taller than I am, but the same face. And the only thing difference is his laugh than so I said something funny to him and he went, he did like a donkey laugh. And I was like, that's not me. But other than that, the face.
Garrett, do you remember your laugh that we used to?
Yes. My laugh is not much better than donkey laugh. I used to have the same laugh as in the movie Amadeus. Tom Hulse plays Mozart. He has this crazy melodical laugh. That's my laugh, basically.
Basically, Beltran.
I would squash that laugh down, and I would try to push it away.
Robert Beltran used to imitate his laugh on set, and it made me laugh so hard. Because Robert would go,
all right.
He'd go, here's Garrett's laugh.
It sounds like a bumblebee, but I was pushing down the Tom Hulse Amadeus laugh.
The bumblebee. It was the funny.
The bumblebee. It is.
Robert Beltran's version of that laugh is the best funny. Please, next time you see him at a con, have him do Garrett's laugh.
Thank you.
I don't get Bumblebee at all. It sounds like an autoerotic experience.
Bob, everything sounds like an autoerotic experience to you.
I just want to say, I got picked up by a car service for a convention that I was in, I don't know, the Midwest somewhere. And the driver goes like, so, what do you do for a living? I said, I don't know, guess. And he's like, male exotic dancer? And I went,
we have to move to the next question.
Gotta go to the next. Please do. There's whether we're in trouble otherwise.
All right, we are almost done. We have time for one more question. Before we get to it, please go see them in the Walk of Fame, photo ops, autographs. They've been a blast, a hoot. They're just as fun backstage as they are out here, so go say hello. And we will take one more question.
All right, we'll end on the salamanders.
Of course.
Leaving the salamanders, their question isn't that a violation of the Prime Directive?
Ooh, yes it is. Yeah, you got me. I don't know what to say. Absolutely it is. Maybe no, I was about to defend Kate, but no. Janeway should have definitely brought them back. Why weren't you there to help me get my children home?
do we have time for another one?
Let's go one more. That was a quick one. Thank you for your question. One more, real quick. I see him coming up.
As a guy named Rob, I really appreciate the proportion of Roberts in the Voyager cast. Yes, very near and dear to my heart for that. We talked a little bit about charitable causes earlier in the context of you stealing stuff, but maybe you could give a little bit more time to causes that are near and dear to you. You've got a large audience. You could sort of, push in the direction of things that are near and dear to your hearts.
Great question. Let's end it on any charities you guys want to shout out that you like supporting or do auctions and things with, and we'll end it with that. That's a great one. Thank you.
I do been involved with a lot, but right now the nonprofit Planetary Society. I worked with 30 years. Science is under attack. 47% proposed budget cuts to space science and deep space exploration. Write to your Congress people and say, no, you love space.
I'll go along with that as well. I also support the Planetary Society and work with Bob on many of the charity events we've had recently. Also, the Hollywood Food Coalition. That is
John
Billingsley. Yes, Hollywood Food Coalition, a wonderful organization. That's one of my charities.
Robert? I was going to mention Hollywood Food Coalition. It's a great organization, a lot of Trek people involved. Yep. Another Trek family nonprofit that I think a lot of us have helped support is the Pancreatic Cancer Society, PanCan. Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. But there's a walkathon in the spring that Star Trek fans have been incredibly supportive of. Kitty Swink, Armin Shimmerman's wife, had pancreatic cancer. A lot of you know this, but she is a survivor. It's a very, it's a rough cancer. So, Pancreatic Cancer Action Network. For me personally, I live in a kind of rural area, and I get involved in some of our local charities. But one that I really love is an organization called Encircle, and they have created some homes for LGBTQ plus teens, young people, and I volunteer there, help raise money for them, and it's a safe place for them to go. They can get some mental health counseling if that's needed, or they can just hang out and play games and make art and music, and it's a great place to spend time with some great young people. And I love Encircle is the name of that.
Thank you all so much for sharing those.
Thank you.
For me, Habitat for Humanity, and also any charity that helps out victims, women and children victims of abuse.
Awesome. Thank you all so much. Thank you for sharing those. A round of applause for these gentlemen. Thank you so much. Have a fun and safe Dragon Con.